and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be doing another One Piece review. So this time it's going to be a review on the Impel Down arc, and this arc is probably one of my favourite arcs in One Piece. So let's get straight into the video. So like I just said, this is probably my favourite arc in One Piece, especially because of the world building. And the build up of it, because especially with Shabodi and Amazon Lily, so building up to it was just like this part of the story got me really engrossed when I was watching it last year. So I was watching it till like 2, 3, 4 in the morning just to get as much One Piece as I possibly could, because everyone knows how long One Piece is. So yeah, let's get straight into the review. So for me, this is like the perfect introduction going into Marineford, as it made everyone realise how tense the situation was for Ace. And when I'm redigesting it, so I said redigesting, that's funny. Anyway, yeah, so I brought the manga, so I'm reading from chapter volume 54 to 60. So rereading it, just on rereading it, like I said, redigesting it, just made the build up, made you feel the necessary tension to feel the gravity of the situation that Ace was in. So yeah, so the way Luffy got into Impel Down was pretty funny to me. Like, he got in there by going underneath Bro's dress. The only reason Bo was there was because she struck a deal with the Marines to let her go to Impel Down, and she agreed to go and fight the upcoming war with the Whitebeard pirates, because the Marines thought that they were gonna come and try and save Ace from the execution. So yeah, like I said, she struck a deal that she could keep the title of the Seven Warlords to protect Amazon Lily, so the Marines would leave them alone, and also so she could go to Impel Down for an alternative motive to go and bring Luffy to Ace, or try and get Luffy to save Ace. So yeah, during this, for me, the interactions between Luffy and Bo are quite funny. Like, she moves mad. She moves mad. She moves like Sanji, but reverse, and she only moves mad for Luffy, which I find quite funny, because Luffy ain't like that. Luffy don't really care. Just wants to become Pirate King. So during this, we get to see what's happening with the other Straw Hats, which I find really interesting. Like, Oda kept them part of the story, even though you felt like this is a Luffy's arc. But and also I feel like every Straw Hat gets their own arc, because Thriller Bark was what's his name, Brooks. Usopp was when they first met him, and then Sanji got 2. You got Whole Cake Island and the Bartra arc, and then Nami got Nami got All Along Park. Chopper got his one when he first came to the crew, and then Frankie got Water 7 and NS Lobby, and then the same with Robin, she got NS Lobby and Water 7. So yeah, it was just nice, but we haven't got Zoro's one, so I really hope Zoro's one is going to be Wano, but I doubt that because of the pacing of it, so more likely not going to see Zoro's one until later on. I really hope we get a backstory of Zoro's like childhood before he goes to that dojo, because we really don't know what's going on, what happened, who his parents are. So yeah, so this was the first time we saw all the 7 warlords, and I thought the panel was really nice. So we got to see Millhawk, Doflamingo. Oda built up Dressrosa for time. He probably built up since Skypiea, but that's another story anyway. But yeah, like, he built up from Skypiea. So yeah, you got Doflamingo, Bartholomew Kuma, Miori, and Blackbeard. So, and then yeah, so we don't see Jinbei, because Jinbei was in prison because he didn't want to fight the war, and yeah, we'll get into Jinbei later in the video. And Bo, because Bo was going to Impel Down. So after that, we get to see Garp's interaction with Ace, and I found that really emotional. I feel like it's more emotional now, knowing what I know now about Ace, Garp, and Luffy. Bless me. So yeah, I find it's more emotional. At first it didn't hit me, but now, knowing what I know, like, I feel like it hits me more. And like, Garp, throughout the whole situation, what was going on, I feel like he's a waste man. Like, he could have saved his family, because yeah, they considered him family. They considered him their grandfather. Well, he's biologically Luffy's grandfather, but Ace like adopted grandfather. So like he had respect for him, and he could really have saved him during what happened. But anyway, I'll get into that in another video. So anyway, he just went there to tell her that Luffy and Ace have made the wrong decisions. Like he wanted them two to be pirates because he didn't want them to deal with being an outlaw. But Ace was saying to him like, we couldn't be anything else. We could only have been, what's it called, pirates, because they both had criminal blood in them. And like, what else could they have done? No one would have accepted them in the Marines. And also, Luffy and Ace just wanted to be free. The whole point of becoming a pirate was that they wanted to have freedom in the sea. So like, that's the only way to get freedom in the One Piece world is be a pirate. Because if you're a part of the Marine, you're controlled by the world government, and then you have to work under the Celestial Dragons, who are, we know who the Celestial Dragons are, annoying. Like, I would not like. That's why Garp is the like. See, this is why Garp is an annoying character, because he's a goat, because he would never be an admiral, because he didn't want to work underneath the Celestial Dragons, because the admirals had to like protect them, but he would always be a vice admiral, and everyone respected him anyway. So that's why he's a Loki. No, Haki is a goat, but at the same time he's annoying for not saving his family. But anyway, yeah. Also, I feel like Oda did an excellent job in foreshadowing Ace's father. As we later on find out who he is, and I'm not going to spoil it in this video, but most people know who Ace's father is. So after this, Bo has to get Bo and Luffy are in Impel down, and Bo has to try and get Luffy out of her dress. So the way she does it is, she freezes the person that sent to them to search them. So she freezes him, and then he gets out of her dress. And then he goes and try and find Ace, and then it's not long before he gets in trouble, and that's because Baggy is in prison as well, and he's trying to escape. And then him and Luffy start going around and trying to get out. Oh well, he's trying to get out, and then he gets dragged into Luffy's commotion. So yeah, for me, the pacing of Impel Down is probably why it's one of my favorite arcs, because the pacing is like no other One Piece arcs, because you feel the urgency of them trying to save Ace, which makes it one of the best arcs. Yeah, it's one of the best arcs, and there's always been a pacing issue with One Piece anyway, because they adapt like one chapter per episode, so it takes much longer than it needs to be. Like, it's just long sometimes. But in one of the countries, looking like the anime's canon, because some of the stuff is happening in it because of the Conqueror Haki stuff in general. Conqueror Haki stuff with what's his name, Zoro. So we get to see with Oda foreshadowed that time. For me, he foreshadowed Zoro having Conqueror Haki in Shobody, because he was doing the same thing walking around. When he was walking around, he was doing that he was intimidating them and doing that little pulse thing with you just see that little pulse thing in the animation. So like, he was teasing it for time anyway. And then it was just cool seeing it in the anime. And also Captain Eustace Kid's Haki is whack. Conqueror Haki is dead. He didn't knock no one out, whereas Zoro knocked someone out. So yeah, power scaling, it's annoying. It's not power scaling. We all know Zoro is stronger than Captain Kid anyway. But anyway, so getting back onto the topic in hand. So for me, the world building again was sick, as the arc introduced a third government facility. So it was Impel Down, Marineford, and then NS Lobby. So that's the three government facilities. I also loved the power scaling in the arc, because it shows how strong Luffy has become. Also, when he was beating up the guards and all the other animals there, Baggy even commented on how strong Luffy had become. And I just love the power scaling in One Piece in general. It's not stupid like in Naruto or in Dragon Ball Z, where like them man are just gods. Like Sasuke and Naruto are OP at 16. Like, they got the power of gods. Like, man's got the Renegon, and Naruto's got the power of the Six Paths. Like, it's nonsense. And then in DBZ, Goku's just OP. Like, man's got Ultra Instinct now. And then whatever's happening in the manga with Vegeta and him, and then everyone's getting angry with Vegeta at the moment because of Ultra ego thing. I find it funny because like Vegeta was never gonna be like beating people anyway. But anyway, go back to the topic again. Luffy's interaction with Baggy at Impel Down shows how honest Luffy is as a character, and again, this is why he's one of my favourite MCs because of how genuine he is, and at the same time, it showed how naive he was as a character, because he gave him the treasure marker, and that treasure marker was to do with the treasure of Captain John. Yeah, I'm still waiting for Oda to like. He planted that seed and he still hasn't paid off yet. I wonder like whether Baggy actually found it or whatever. So hopefully we'll see that soon. And the way they leave the Inferno Hell level was jokes, because Baggy was really trying to leave Luffy, but he got like pushed into the hole, and then they end up going to level 2. So during the commotion in the prison, Luffy meets Mr. Free again, and he joins Luffy and Baggy. So they and it was funny and annoying at the same time, because they were trying to snake him the whole time. They weren't gonna try and help him go to Ace. They were gonna leave him. So the introduction of the Warden was really funny, because he spends most of the time on the toilet because he ate the poison fruit, and then he's eating poison half the time, which makes no sense. Oda's sense of humor is weird. It's very weird. Doesn't make sense sometimes, but I find it very weird. But at the same time, that guy's OP. His devil fruit power was crazy. It was poison. Like, how do you counter that? Like, even if you use haki, it doesn't really make sense. And yeah, so the way they get out of the level 2, which is B style, again, he demonstrates Luffy's power again, and it made him, yeah, they make them crash down into the starvation hell, which is level 3. So Oda again, he's with his foreshadowing. I feel like he's foreshadowing Fisherman Island like 2 arcs before. So 2 arcs, no, it'll be Marine Forward and then Post War. Yeah, 2 arcs before it actually happened. So with the speech that Jinbei was given to Ace about how fishermen and mere women, I think that's what you call them, were getting caught and sold off. So this is why I like anime and One Piece in general and manga. Like, have real world similarities in some of the stuff that they put into it, and like they're inspired by real world, but you get like people get inspired by real world and put in stories anyway. But the way anime and manga do it is kind of different. That's why I like it. So anyway, I feel like fishermen are like black people. Like, they were sold into slavery and everything, and again outcasted by society because they look different. So yeah, that's another reason why I like One Piece. Who doesn't like delving into deep issues? They really do delve into deep issues in some of the arts. So the introduction of Jinbei was sick, as he was mentioned during the Arlong Park arc, and like, I'm not gonna lie, I was really confused when Arlong was mentioning. I feel like this is why I don't know if I must have been really tired when I was watching that bit, because I remember them saying about Jinbei, but I thought Jinbei was Arlong for some reason, or like Arlong was a warlord, and I thought Luffy had defeated 3 warlords, but it was only 2, because it was like Mary and Crocodile, and not Jim Arlong. Barefoot Arlong was a warlord for some reason. I didn't pay attention properly when I was watching that. Yeah, so going back to the speech of Jinbei's, I also found it very interesting that the pirates are the ones saving people's life and not a world government, as the whole thing with Whitebeard coming to Fisherman Island and saying, yeah, this is my island and no one can touch it, and he just helped them throughout, help them, and like the world government never helped them. The literally pirates are considered being outlaws are helping them more than the world government, which makes no sense, but it does at the same time, because yeah, you know what happens. This kind of shows the similarity of Luffy, as Luffy's done the same, and like in the sense of saving, like most of the, like Luffy's like One Piece is it's point of view of the villain, but the Straw Hats are anti-heroes, and it even demonstrates in one of the bits when Luffy was saying, I don't want to be a hero. The hero has to share their meat, and then Zoro was like, oh yeah, I don't want to be a hero. A hero has to share that alcohol. But most of the time they're saving people, because saved Alabasta, Skypiea, and they did save Fisherman Island. But like, that's just a definition of an anti-hero, and that's another reason why I like One Piece, because yeah, it's like from the position of the criminals, but the criminals are doing all the good things because the world government's whack. But anyway, so I love how we go back and forth with the Marine HQ, and then to Impel down, as it's funny to see how pressed Sengoku was throughout the whole situation, and like, it was just funny. Yeah, like, they didn't really have to capture Ace, like, it wasn't that deep, but it was at the same time because of this thing that they wanted to do. But I love the way Garp was just laughing at the fact that Luffy was causing all the trouble and Sengoku was just being pressed and saying you shouldn't even be in the Navy, like your family's full of criminals and you're lucky you're considered a hero of the Navy. So yeah, you can't do anything. I feel like here, because they didn't really, for me, I just feel like the foreshadows better stuff, but I feel like it was foreshadowing the God Valley thing with what Roger. See, okay, that's just a tangent again. Let me not go in a tangent, but yeah. So I feel like they're foreshadowing the whole God Valley thing there. So after reaching level 3, they get caught by Sadef, a guard, but luckily they escaped because of the thing that they beat up to get down there, woke up and tried to kill them. After that, Baggy and Mr. Free used this chance to try and leave Leafy for dead. Here we get to see Bon Clay come back in the story, which is good. I like Bon Clay is a good character, and like he's a big part in this story. And also meeting Bon Clay and Mr. Free was pretty cool. I love the way that Oda keeps some people into the story and doesn't just kill them off. But at the same time, I would love to see some deaths in deaths, and it would be kind of cool if one of the Straw Hats die. Just like add a little bit of sparkling of character development. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen anyway. So also Baggy's muggy ball was stupid. He really thought he killed a Minotaur with this, and then Luffy being up there Minotaur again shows this how much he's more power he's had. So them crashing into Inferno Hell is where their fortunes kind of turn. So here Mr. One, here we see Mr. One again, and Oda using all of his characters again is sick. And again, the pacing was amazing, especially to see how it calmed down after the Warden beat up Luffy. And again, the power, like I just said, the power scaling is really found in this arc is like amazing. I feel like One Piece power scaling is just amazing for me. So again, the power scaling in the arc was sick because you see how strong he's gotten, but he couldn't beat the Warden. And then Luffy's fight against the Warden was sick, seeing how much stronger he was. Also, some of the moves that the Warden was doing, like the Venom Road, it looked funny. It looked like it just looked mad weird, but it was sick as well. And so during all this, like when Luffy was fighting the Warden, yeah, the way that Bon Clay kind of left him for dead was kind of peak. But at the same time, you understand it was why he was doing it. It was kind of like for self-preservation, because if both of them fought him and died, like the whole arc would have finished. So also in the arc, it again shows me why I love Luffy as a main character so much, because his determination to save his brother was mad. As after he was beaten, though, he was beaten by the Warden. The Warden was saying to him, "Yeah, you're not gonna. I'll give you 24 hours to live." Basically, I feel like Bon Clay's character here was great as he came back to save him and helped him and dragged Mr. Free and Baggy along to a frozen hell as he disguised himself as the Vice Warden. And the way he bamboozled the Vice Warden was kind of funny. He made it look like he was Nami. Then the Vice Warden was moving thirsty for Nami, which was funny. At this point is when Baggy and Mr. Free got lost because they ran away from the wolves that were like chasing them. And after that, Bon Clay saves Luffy, and they were looking for Ivan. So Ivan, we found out that he's part of the Revolutionary Army and he knows Luffy's dad. So when they were looking for him, they get attacked by wolves again, and then here Oda's foreshadowing Conqueror's Haki as and Luffy just does that weird pulse thing, and then they all drop down. So I have nothing really to say about Ivan's introduction. It basically speaks for itself. Bare flamboyant. Yeah, nothing else really to say. Man, just flamboyant. So again, Luffy's determination to save Ace here was demonstrated again when recovering in like 20 hours when he should have been like a couple of days. Also shows how selfish Luffy is as a character, as when Bon Clay saved them and that crabby guy sees them and takes them to New Nakama Land. Luffy, when he gets back into the place, he goes and tells Ivan, make sure Bon Clay's alright. And like again, just shows how selfless he is as a character, and I like that. Like most MCs are like that in Shonen, but I feel like Luffy does it in a different. I don't know. Luffy just a different main character. I prefer him to other there's all of most Shonen main characters are selfless, but Luffy does it in a reckless way, and it's better. it's just better. I don't know. I think it's just 'cause I like Luffy more than like, because Deku does it. Deku's very selfless, but it's to his detriment, especially what was going on in the manga. And Tanjiro and is Naruto yeah, Naruto's selfless, but like more and more I watch other anime and stuff. Naruto's just dead. Like Naruto's just dead. Like yeah, Naruto's just dead. Like okay, let me get back on the topic. Also, I feel like Oda's kind of foreshadowing how the way that One Piece might end. I feel like there's so much similarity between Roger and Luffy as a character. I feel like Luffy, the ending is probably Luffy's gonna die because of the lifespan that he's wasted. Especially when he needed to get saved by Ivan, he he took away some of his lifespan during that bit, and then during some bits in Marineford, and then in the post-war arc when they have to save him because of what happened with Ace. Yeah, I feel like loads, like at least 20 years of his lifespan's gone. So I feel like that will definitely be the play a part in how One Piece will end, and Luffy's probably gonna die. So after this, Luffy recovered and he wanted to go back and look for Ace. He then tells Ivan, like I just said earlier, that Dragon is his dad. And I love this panel. I love the flashback as Luffy Dragon keeps on looking east, and Ivan asked him, why do you keep on looking east? And it was like he thought it was like kind of like a homing device. He was probably like looking, seeing, wondering how Luffy was doing. Yeah, here again, like I keep on saying, the pacing here was excellent. Like it brought Oda's pacing was sick because he calmed down the story for a little bit, a couple chapters, and then he brought it back up with the intensity of them trying to go and save Ace again. It leaves with the whole of New Nakama Land, so that's 5.5, and then they go to level 6 to save Ace. This is where it got. I remember in the like I'm reading it again, but like even watching it, I was bare confused. It's like isn't when they're trying to get to level 5 to save them, but yeah, I don't know if Oda did that on purpose because it was just confusing because I always thought everyone they got told it was level 5, but it was actually level 6. And then yeah, so level 6 is just where all the mad criminals are. So and so when they get to level 6, Ace has already gone to the entrance of Impel Down, and like there's a like they kind of show it in the manga. Like there's a kind of a panel when I think like Ace is going up, and then he kind of fights the warden, but couldn't fight him properly. Then he gets pinned down, but Oda only shows it a little bit. Then in the anime, they kind of extend the scene. Like I like that's like with the anime, that's what I like. They kind of extend the scenes, and it happened in like what I said earlier. Mano is looking more canon because they're extending more scenes, and like they're apparently with toy animation, some of the animators are getting permission from Oda to fill in some of the gaps. So here Jinbei asks to come and save Ace, and we also see Crocodile again, and he also ends up joining the team to save Ace, but at the same time he has an alternative motive of trying to kill one Whitebeard. So here this shows how Luffy has the ability to bring people together. So when we go back to the levels, we see the nonsense that Baggy and Mr. 3 are doing. So when we also get to see how pressed Sengoku is at Marineford again, as he gets a report that's saying that Blackbeard has gone to Impel Down for some reason. Blackbeard entrance is one of the like I really love the Blackbeard's entrance. Blackbeard is just mad. Like the more and more I read of One Piece or like watch One Piece, like going back and rewatching some stuff and rereading some stuff, the more and more I like Blackbeard as a character. Because at first I thought it was whack. He didn't have Conqueror's Haki, and like he had to be stealing people's devil fruit powers, and I was like, why is this guy such a like main villain? Like Luffy should be able to beat him easily when they actually have that fight again. So here we also see the head jailer gets released from his cell, which is kind of which is kind of foreshadowed a couple chapters before, and then he ends up killing some guards. So yeah, so the Vice Warden fights Luffy, and here comes up like the conflicting ideas that the pirates and the world government have, and it comes head to head because Luffy says he just wants to save Ace and he doesn't want his brother to die. The Warden says pirates are nothing but scum, and prisons are here to put them in prison and make the rest of the people feel safe. And Blackbeard comes out of nowhere, and this is probably why I think he's such an interesting character, because the whole justice thing in One Piece comes up again, and then Blackbeard says like no matter where you are in the world, you're never gonna find the answer to that question. Like, who is right and who is wrong? Is the government wrong? Is the pirates wrong? And I just find him a really interesting character because he has stuff like that to say. And yeah, so after this, you see the Luffy stand up with Blackbeard, and this panel was just amazing. And even seeing it in the anime was sick, but like reading it in the manga, the panel was just amazing. It's just sick. It's one of the best panels in One Piece for me. So Blackbeard reveals his plan that he was there. He was gonna capture Luffy at Gyre or at Water 7, and so he could take Crocodile's place as being one of the warlords. But Luffy saved him by fighting him, and eventually lost to him. So the whole Marine Ford arc was like brewing since Alabasta. It was brewing for time. So Luffy's little fight with Blackbeard was sick, and Jinbei saying to him like, you can't be wasting time here. You need to save Ace. Like, you need to conserve your energy and save Ace. Ace is the most um important person right now, and like here it shows how much Jinbei respects Luffy here, and I feel like cares about him as well. Like Jinbei wouldn't have done that if he didn't care about Luffy. I feel like, or he was caring about Ace, but at the same time, he was caring about Luffy and showing Luffy like, go and do your thing, like go and save Ace. And also, Blackbeard's Devil Fruit powers, mad OP. Like man, it's just darkness. He just suck bare things in. And also, when I was reading it, I don't remember seeing this bit in the manga in the anime, but I probably did. But like um he was a Crocodile was confused when he saw blood come out of Luffy, so it was like, do you not know what haki is? Like haki could only do that. Like haki can only like armament haki, but even that you don't see the blackening of the skin and that, or in anime you don't really see the blackening of the thing. So here, like Oda doesn't really flush out the idea of haki, which is kind of annoying because he can pull bare stuff out of nowhere, like the voice of nothing, and like some of the stuff with armament haki and observation haki and conquerors haki. Like he hasn't explained it too well, in my opinion. Like I feel like he pulled it out of nowhere because of how OP some Devil Fruit powers were. So to balance it out, I feel like he had to introduce haki, but yeah, because some of the stuff that's happening in Wano, some of the stuff with Conqueror Saki doesn't make sense because he just pull it out of nowhere. But anyway, yeah, never mind. Yeah, so again here it shows how similar both the characters are. As Blackbeard was like, does Skypiea exist in it? And then he was like, yeah, One Piece definitely exists. So the Warden's quick handling of Blackbeard just shows how OP his Devil Fruit is. But this is what I'm saying. With like, I don't think like hand to hand Blackbeard can't beat Luffy. Like Luffy's hand to hand combat is gonna be better than Blackbeard's. So like you can damage him physically, and Blackbeard even said that when he was fighting Ace. I remember him saying, yeah, he still gets what is he still gets hurt by physical attacks. That just reminded me of, do you know RDC World 1, that little sketch they did when they had people just explaining the powers, but some don't. But yeah, just funny. Anyway, yeah, we still don't know what Blackbeard is up to be honest. Like so we still don't know what Blackbeard is up to. So again, the pacing here was amazing, as it felt the tension rising again as they chased to the entrance of Impel down. So Ivan and Krabby sacrificed themselves to let the rest of the people go, which yeah, it just shows like this is like a testament to Luffy's character, and it shows how sick he is as a character, that he can bring people together, and like he impacts them so much in that small space of time that he's interacted with them, that they will sacrifice their life for him, and it just shows how sick he is as a main character. Because look how like people like Zoro, like people's said that as well, like Zoro should not be with Luffy, like Zoro can be a captain on his own, but it just shows like a testament of Luffy's character, like he can bring strong people together, and like people will follow him, and like he's just a cool character. Luffy's just a goat. That is the best way I can explain it. Yeah, so Luffy's second fight with the Warden was good. Like I like the way that they use the wax. Mr. Free uses the wax through power. So the panel and the scene when he gets the boxing gloves and then the boosters, feet, shoes, whatever it is, was kind of funny because it goes like, you see the eyes go like fingered and he's like Sugoi, which is funny. So and then when Crocodile says like, you don't know how Devil Fruit powers can interact with each other, I found that very really interesting. But this is what I say about what I said earlier about haki. Like some of these Devil Fruit powers are OP. like very OP. So having Haki kind of balances it out. So that's why I feel like Oda introduced Haki, because like Haki wasn't really well. Like I said earlier in the Giant Skypio video, like yeah, go back and watch that. Like help a brother out. Go back and watch that video. Like it's a decent video. Like please go and watch it, please. Like please, begging you. But anyway, yeah, please all go and watch that video. It's a decent video. But,
help me! Help me!
But like what I said earlier about Mantra, it's kind of like Haki, but like Oda doing it now, or like doing it in that arc, was trying to show or introduce Haki to, I feel like, to balance out Devil Fruit powers. But yeah, anyway, so Mr. Free helped hold so Mr. Free helped Luffy to hold off the warden for a little bit. So yeah, I feel like Jinbei is one of the most clutch anime characters and manga characters, because he's always there saving people. So the scene when he's using his fisherman karate to put Mr. Crocodile, Mr. Zero, Crocodile, Mr. One onto the battleship with Baggy was sick. And then Bon Clay's sacrifice for me was on par to Zoro's. And yeah, again, it just shows the testament of Luffy's character, that he's got people to like brief 2 interactions that he's had with Mr. Two. It's like he's got people to sacrifice their lives for him, and like I said, I feel like it's on par with Zoro's one, with Zoro taking all his pain in Thriller Bark. Yeah, so they eventually get on the find the warship. They were looking for the warship all this time to escape. Then they revealed that Baggy was on the ship with Goldie Roger, and he is Shanks' blood brother. So with here, like, being Shanks' blood brother, I'm bare confused. Like, is he actually his blood brother, or like blood brother? Like when people like do that blood bond thing. So I think it's more like that, because I can't. If he's actually Shanks' blood brother, that's kind of crazy, because everyone's theories about Shanks being a celestial dragon and everything. Imagine Baggy being a celestial dragon. That'd be weird but funny. But yeah, anyway, and it's just funny how everyone thinks he's whack. Like he's the blood brother of Shanks, and he's on Goldie Roger's ship, and look how wacky he is. It's just funny that Oda's written him like that. So the last page going into Marineford arc, for me hits different, as you see Luffy and Ace when they're young and talking about their dreams and talking about how they want to live a life of freedom, but Ace is in chains. So it's like, I love the juxtaposition of the fact that they're like, he's in chains but he wants to be free. And like, the only way you could be free was being a criminal and being a pirate, but you can't end up in chains. It's like the juxtaposition is really good for me, and it's really sick. Like I said, this is probably one of my favourite arcs in One Piece, because how we get to see the pacing of the pacing. The pacing is probably the best pace story in One Piece, and the implications it has on the rest of the One Piece world. And also, I love the fact that Oda always also adds mythology, kind of in this arc, and it has similarities with Dante's Inferno. So level 1, the Crimson Hell, it's the first level of Impel Down, in which prisoners are kept. It contains a large forest of red trees, which leaves are sharp as blades, while the grass on the floor is spiky as needles. It used the less wanted criminals who chased by poisonous spiders. It's called Crimson Hell because of the prisoner's blood. At the end, there's a well that leads to the lower level. In Dante's Inferno, there's a well there in the 8th circle that leads to the 9th circle. And then the level 2, Wild Beast Hell. In the second level of Impel Down, it contains various wild beasts of sorts. For example, the manacles, the Sphinx, and the Basquiel. Wow, sorry for butchering names again. So in Inferno, this is where the manacle named Geryon that transports Dante and Virgil. So it's level 3, Starvation Hell. It's a 3rd level of Impel Down. On this level, prisoners feel the heat rising up from level 4 and give them poisonous precious little food and water to keep them in near-death states. This level is similar to Circle 7, Section 3 of Blasphemers in the Inferno, where prisoners are burning because of hotness of the sand. Through in the Inferno, there's fire raining down on the sinners. So level 4, Blazing Hell, it's the 4th level. So as this level, a pool of lies filled with boiling blood heated up by raging fire, making it extremely hot. This is a parallel to the Circle 7, Section 1 of Dante's Inferno, which had the sinners guilty of violence against others So, however, in Impel Down, the prisoners are not submerged in the pool because they're still alive, unlike the Inferno. So, level 5, Freezing Hell, is the 5th level. In contrast to this level above, its entire level is a giant freezer. It's cold, and prisoners are kept here to freeze alive, freeze to death, or lose pieces of their flesh from severe frostbite. But the food given to them is frozen to the level of being virtually inedible. So this level is parallel of Circle 9 of Inferno. Both have everything frozen, and in both stories, the freezing hell is seen way worse than the burning one. So Eternal Hell, so that's level 6, the lowest level, is where the prisoners who are insanely powerful are kept. These prisoners on this level have been given either the death penalty or life sentence. They're basically erased from history. There's not really parallelisms with the Inferno here. So there's also similarities between Luffy and Dante as they went on their journey, but they do not because they do not belong there, as Dante is not dead and Luffy is not arrested. So yeah, I'm gonna link that down below where I found that, so if you guys want to read it. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and hope you enjoyed. So it really help if you guys like, subscribe, and like, and if you really liked it, it would help if you guys share it on social media. Yeah, help a brother out. Really help if you could help me grow this channel. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. It's gonna be more One Piece videos hopefully, and hopefully very soon the podcast is gonna come back. Try and make some videos soon if you guys like it. Hopefully you guys like it. But yeah, anyway, bless. How you get the pacing of this. So one of my favorite. One Piece is one of my favorite. Makes sense, doesn't it? So like I said, probably bloody hell, lad. What am I trying to say? So.